thought I'd do a quick video on some of the more complicated expressions of exponents. We find that on the quiz we struggle on this, so this might help. Remember our rules. When we are multiplying exponents, we add, right? Multiplication of power, we add the exponents. Division of powers, we subtract the exponents. When we have a power to a power, we multiply. And then the exponents, and then a negative exponent means it's in the reciprocal. And a zero exponent always equals 1. So number 47, we have 3 to the 1/4 power. I know that looks kind of like 3 and 1/4, but we have 3 to the 1/4 times 3 to the 3/4. And we haven't really dealt with using these fractional exponents and our properties yet, but this one shouldn't be too hard. Our denominators are the same. So 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4/4, which equals 3 to the 1 power, or 3. Number 48, 2 to the 2/7 times 2 to the 4/7. We're going to add those exponents. We get 2 to the 6/7. And then on the denominator, we have 2 to the 3/7 power. So when we're dividing this division, we're going to subtract. That's 2 to the 3/7. 49, we're going to raise this power, a to the -6, b to the 1/2 to the 2/3 power. So that's a to the -6 times 2/3. Well, a to the 3 goes into 6 twice, so 3 goes into 6 2 times. -2 times 2 is -4. And then b to the 1/2 times 2/3. 2 goes into 2 once, and that's b to the 1/3 power. So we have b to the 1/3 power over a to the 4th because we don't leave any negative exponents. Number 50, -2, x to the -6, 3x to the 4th squared. A big misconception here is that this -2 is getting that exponent, and that only happens when it's in parentheses, like the 3x to the 4th. So the 3x to the 4th is being squared, but this -6 power only goes to the x. So we're first going to do the exponent on the parentheses, so that makes that 9x. Multiply my exponent, so I get to the 8th. And then I have -2x to the -6th. Then I'm going to multiply the numbers in front, -18. Add my exponents, -6 plus 8 is 2. So -18x squared. Okay, for number 51, we have some options on this one. We can either do the exponent to everything first, or we can simplify what's inside and then apply the exponent. I like simplifying what's inside because it then makes everything smaller. So let's do that. We have x squared over x to the -3, and then y to the 5th over y to the -1. We actually just treat the variables separately and put them together in one fraction. It's all the -4th power. When we're dividing, remember we're subtracting. So this is 2 minus -3, and that becomes plus, so we get x to the 5th power. And then 5 minus -1, that becomes plus, so y to the 6th power, all to the -4th. And that gives me 1 over x to the 5th, y to the 6th to the 4th, which is then 1 over x to the 20th, y to the 24th. Number 52 is trick problem. You could do whatever you want to inside, but anything to the 0 power equals 1. Number 53, I like to do these problems. I like to simplify across the top first, then simplify the denominator, and then I will do the division. So that's how I like to attack these problems. It's up to you how you like to do it. If you want to reduce each fraction individually and then multiply, that works as well. So I like to do 6 times 2, that's 12. I have x cubed, x to the -7, so we're going to add 3 plus -7 is -4, so x to the -4. I'm just going to leave my negative exponents for this for a minute. And then y to the negative 3, y to the 4th is y to the 1. And we don't really need to write that one. Then in the bottom we have 4 times 10, which is 40. And then x to the negative 2, and there's no x over there, so x to the negative 2. And then y times y to the 8th is y to the 9th. And now we again have options. We do need to reduce this fraction, so it's important that we reduce this. We can divide them both by 4, so that's 3/10. And then really this x to the negative 2 should go up top and be x squared, and the y to the negative 4 should go down and be positive x to the 4th, or x to the positive 4. And then y over y to the 9th, and then subtract my exponents. I don't know why I wrote a 9 there. 3 over 10, x squared minus x to the 4th. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2, so that's going to put x squared in the bottom. And then 1 minus 9 is negative 8, so that puts y to the 8th in the bottom. And that was 53. 54 is, let's see, we'll simplify inside, and then we'll do the exponent on the outside last. So 2 a squared minus negative 6. So 2 minus negative 6 becomes plus, so a to the 8th. And then b, 4 minus negative 3 becomes plus, so b to the 7th, positive 7. And that's all being raised to the 3rd power now. So 2 cubed, a to the 24th. Multiply my exponents, b to the 21. That's a to the 28, a to the 24th, b to the 21. And number 55, we're subtracting. So we have 5 halves minus 1 half, which is 4 halves, which equals 2. So we have 8 to the 2nd power, which equals 64. And now number 56, we're going to talk more about this later in the week, but we're just adding our exponents, x to the 1/2 plus 3/4. So let's get a common denominator. 1/2 is 2/4 by multiplying the top and the bottom by 2. 2/4 plus 3/4 is 5/4. So we have x to the 5/4 over x to the 3/8. And then to subtract, we also need a common denominator, so we'll times by 2 on top and bottom. So 10/8 over x to the 3/8. And 10/8 minus 3/8 is 7/8, so x to the 7/8. Number 57, the negative exponent. Let's apply it to everything here, and then we'll deal with it. 3 to the negative 2, a to the positive 8, negative 4 times negative 2, and b to the negative 10. Now we'll put our negative exponents in the denominator, so a to the 8th over 3 to the negative 2, that goes in the denominator. 3 squared is 9, and b to the 10th. And then 58. 58 has a lot going on. Let's apply this exponent first. 4x to the 8th, y to the negative 6, over 3x to the negative 5y, times 9x to the negative 4, y to the 4th, over 10x y to the 8th. So I'm going to multiply my numbers together. 4 times 9 is 36. 3 times 10 is 30. I'm going to combine my x's on the top. X to the 8th times x to the negative 4. Add 8 plus negative 4. That's x to the 4th. Y to the negative 6 times y to the 4th is y to the negative 2. And then the denominator, x to the negative 5 times x. So negative 5 plus 1 is x to the negative 4. And then y times y to the 8th is y to the 9th. And then I can simplify my fraction. I can divide them both by 6. So that's 6/5. And this is going to be 4 minus negative 4, which becomes plus. So I get x to the 8th. And then negative 2 minus 9, which is negative 11. So we get y to the positive 11 in the denominator.